Shoals Lake in Arkansas, a great impoundment that's been around a lot of years. The water has been high here for the past few days and changed the patterns many of the pros figured out during the pre-practice. But you'll fast see how these professional anglers adapt to the changing water conditions and figure out the bass, as they usually do. I'm Ray Scott. Stay tuned. The Bassmasters will be right back with the Arkansas Invitational.
The Arkansas Invitational. It's here on Big Bull Shoals Lake where the best bass anglers in the country go rod to rod for a share of the $140,000 pot of gold at the end of a 3-day-long rainbow. Pre-tournament predictions for winning weights have changed with the weather. Cold fronts and heavy rains the past weeks altered the face of this sprawling impoundment. Normally, Bull Shoals is some 71,000 surface acres with more than 1,000 miles of shoreline. But the rains push new water over the areas usually high and dry on the banks. The time is the middle of April. Water temperature in the 60s, and the bass are in the pre-spawn and spawn patterns. Downriver, closer to the dam, the water is clearer than further upstream. There are two schools of thought when experienced bass anglers attempt to put together a fish-catching pattern. Some prefer more stained water because the bass are not as spooky. Others opt to fish clear water like this, and often pour visible bass like this one on a freshly built spawning bed. Although spring and the spawn pattern is regarded by most Bassmasters as the best time to catch bass, it's also a fact that pre-spawn bass are easier to catch than those actually on the spawning beds. The reason is the pre-spawners are not usually as touchy and also tend to feed more aggressively. But weather plays a big part in any catching, as Texas Bass Pro Randy Behringer well knows.
You know, the first couple of days of practice, we had a lot of cloud cover. In fact, it snowed on me for about 2 hours. It was, for 2 days there, we had a lot of cloud cover and a lot of wind. A big front came through, and the fishing was pretty good, especially the first day of practice. Today, we've got this real high, bright sky, a lot of light intensity, and the fish just, they're getting to be harder to catch. I think they were a little hard to catch yesterday, and they seem to be, they're hard for me to catch at least today. We've caught 4 keepers, and we're about halfway through the day, so I'm trying 2 or 3 different baits and see if we can figure out how to catch one here, but basically I think it's just a matter of the lake's coming up a little bit, and it's come up about 8 feet in fact the last couple of weeks, and I feel like basically just a light intensity deal. I think that's why we're experiencing difficult fishing right now.
Others, like Arkansas pro Ron Chuffield, have opinions about the bass in Bull Shoals and the weather.
This lake is famous for producing some tremendous strings of 6-fish limits weighing 20 to 30 pounds. I've seen 6-fish limits weighing over 30 pounds come off this lake on more than one occasion. And right now, they're just on the verge of moving up. I mean, they could come up at any time or any hour during the day. The biggest thing that's hurting us right now with this weather is the bluebird skies and no wind or anything to kind of put some chop or cover on top of the water. And it's made the fish just extremely tight and a little less aggressive than what they normally would be under most circumstances. I think it's not going to be over with here until it's over with. I think you'll see the lead change hands 2 or 3 times.
But someone always catches the bass and takes the lead.
Folks, here's a man right here you'll all recognize, the man who invented the famous Stanley jigs, Lonnie Stanley himself, with a limit of bass. One of the finest catches of the day. This man has sold over 17 million jigs in the course of his career of building jigs there in Texas. Using his own lure today, you'll see a rather remarkable catch. The lead of the tournament, 19 pounds, 14 ounces for Lonnie Stanley, our new leader.
The Bassmasters will be right back from the Arkansas Invitational. Don't go away.